Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing all well and enjoying your weekend. Tottenham early kick-off today at home to Brentford. Where do you start? The club are a mess. Tottenham are a complete mess at the moment. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that performance today, that result today, but also moving forward and the news that's been developing over the last couple of weeks in regards to the search for a director of football and a new manager, crucially, because right now Spurs are without a director of football, without a men's coach, and without a women's coach as well. So it's really bad. So today, Spurs in the Premier League, final home game of the season, lost 3-1 at home to Brentford. Um, First half, I thought actually we played all right. Ryan Mason went for a 4-3-2-1, 4-2-3-1 formation. Played some players who haven't been playing recently, such as Arnaud Danjuma played. Didn't really pull up many trees, to be honest. Thought Yves Bissouma was back after a multi-month injury. I think he was out for 4 or 5 months, wasn't he? And it actually, the first half we played all right, played some good football, missed a couple of really, really good chances to, go in at the break maybe 2 or 3-0 up. Harry Kane, again, scored an unbelievable goal, world-class goal. I think that's his 25th goal in the Premier League this season, maybe? Or is it? No, I thought you'd have to excuse my lack of knowledge. I think he's on more than that, but I think he's scored in 25 games out of the 37 in the Premier League this season, which is just outrageous. I mean, if we lose him this summer, I dread to think what happens moving forward. I mean, there's every possibility that we could see the kind of season that Chelsea are having this season happen to Spurs next year if we don't get our acts together. Like I say, we went into the second half. I thought actually we played really well in that first half, and then Brighton brought on Mikkel Damsgaard, who's a very good player, up their tempo, their intensity, and blew us away in the second half. Again, a few mistakes here and there really cost us. I think Ollie Skip in the goal leading up to the third goal, it might have been, or the second goal, just silly sloppiness on the ball, and Brentford run us ragged, and it's just. I think I saw today we've conceded 65 goals this season. It's just shocking. Okay, not all of it is down to Ryan Mason. I mean, he looked very, very disappointed on the touchline, as you would. But a lot of the fans, apathy, aggression, frustration was taken out on Daniel Levy. Make no mistake about it today. The atmosphere inside the ground was very, very toxic at some points, and there was a point in the second half where balloons were being thrown onto the pitch with Levy outwritten on them. The fans were singing "Daniel Levy, get out of our club," ringing around the stadium. It was obvious to hear on TV, and then there was quite a telling moment where the BT Sport cameras went up to the they went up to where Daniel Levy was sitting in the boardroom box. And he looked completely dejected, and his wife kind of like patted him on the leg as if to say, "Don't take it to heart, it's okay." And I think that was the first time I've really seen Daniel Levy almost a defeated man. He looked so dejected, and you've got to say this is all his own making. I mean, I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt multiple times. Because he's brought a lot of good to Tottenham. You have a look at the training ground, you have a look at the stadium he's delivered, but on the pitch, it's gone wrong. And he's the one ultimately who steers the ship. So it's his fault. And, he is the one that makes the big decisions, and he's got the big decisions wrong, massively wrong. He got lucky with Pochettino, and from then on, we've got a big shiny stadium, but it's no good if you're finishing mid-table every year, is it? I would imagine that over half of the fans who go to the games every week would much rather have the Wild White Hart Lane and be challenging for trophies than the absolute garbage that's being served up at the moment. So, a very disappointing game. Felt so sorry for Harry Kane at the end, who picked up the 3 end-of-season awards voted for by fans and players and everything. It was just, in front of probably about 5,000 fans that bothered to stay behind to applaud the team after a season because it was our last home game. It was just really bad. It's just a club that stinks at the moment. It's rotten, and there's so much work that needs doing. So that moves me on to the managerial hunt. A few weeks ago on the channel, I was talking about how Julian Nagelsmann was the front runner. We'd held talks with him. That's obviously fallen to pieces now. Not sure what's gone on behind the scenes, but either he has told the club no after holding talks with them, or they want a different change of direction. I think after talking to the club, he's decided that it's not the right project for him at the moment, and he said no to them, which has moved us on to, could you call it plan A, plan B, plan C, second choice, stuff like that. Either way, it looks as if Arne Slot, the Feyenoord manager, the 44-year-old Feyenoord manager, is leading the way to get offered the job. Apparently he's been in advanced talks for the last couple of weeks with the club. Just led Feyenoord to the Eredivisie title, the first one for a few years. Plays blind in football. I've been a massive advocate of him for years and years now. When he was at AZ Alkmaar, and then he moved to Feyenoord. His teams play front foot attacking 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 football. He's only 44 as well, so there's real potential to really kick on under him and develop a playing style and identity and a culture around the club that the fans can get behind again. But of course, there are other names that are being linked with it. I don't think Xabi Alonso is going to be considered anymore. Apparently they did explore the possibility of it, but I think his lack of experience isn't quite what they're after at the moment. The other name that's being mentioned a lot right now, is Luis Enrique. Of course, the ex-Barcelona, Roma, Celta Vigo and Spain manager. Apparently they've held extended talks with him as well. But another topic that I want to get onto just quickly is the director of football search as well, because all of this is going on, talking to managers, talking to, different possible appointments without a director of football. Now, a few of the trusted Spurs journalist sources have said that there's a few that are in the running to become the next Tottenham director of football. Leading that search is a guy called Tiago Pinto, who's a 39-year-old Portuguese guy who's currently, I think his title is general manager at Roma. He has revolutionised the way that club worked behind the scenes. He was a key cog in convincing Jose Mourinho to go there. They've recruited some very, very smart buyers over the last couple of years, and they're of course in the Europa League final. So he's very, very well thought of, and he's supposedly been in talks with the club over the last couple of weeks to be the director of football. But there's also another guy called Tim. You have to excuse my pronunciation here. Tim Steidten. He is a German director of football, currently at Bayer Leverkusen, I believe, and he has been very, very influential behind the scenes in Germany as well. He's sort of like revolutionised recruitment and scouting there, and he's another one which they're looking at as well. So that's quite an interesting one, Tim Steidten, because if they go ahead and appoint him, what's to say, he turns around and goes, "Oh, Nagelsmann is my man." Because I don't know if any of you watched the not Julian Nagelsmann videos, the Alistair Gold videos on here that he does. Really, really good summary of what's going on behind the club. But he was saying that when Levy appointed Fabio Paratici and took over that doomed Nuno Espirito Santo managerial search a few years ago now, Nuno wasn't even on the Spurs managerial shortlist before Paratici come in. Apparently when he got hired, he tore up Levy's managerial search and he went after his own men. So what's to say that it's not going to happen here either? It's just another disjointed appointment, a disjointed running of the club, which has summed us up in the last few years, really, I think. I really would rather get the director of football in first, get him not settled, but get him in post and then let him take over the managerial search, because you could be appointing two people which are going to clash straight away and go into pre-season with two of the most influential senior figures at the club at loggerheads, and then your season's off to an absolute stinker already. So yeah, it's there are some big decisions to be made in the next couple of weeks. There's one of the really good Tottenham accounts, a guy called Paul O'Keefe, who has quite a few key contacts inside the club, is saying that there's going to be a lot of contracts being ripped up and players being moved on rather forcefully in the next couple of weeks. Didn't name any names, but I think you can guess kind of who's going to be on that list. And the rebuild is going to be massive. It's necessary because, like I say, this is getting to the point now where the club could be out of Europe altogether for a few years moving forward. I mean, I think that we as fans can take 1 year of not being in Europe okay, as long as you can see that, you know, the club's got a plan moving forward and that the one game a week would be good for everybody in regards to implementing a playing style and not having that fixture congestion. But we've got to be so careful with the decisions that we make in the next couple of weeks. Players staying on, players coming in, new signings, contracts going. It's going to be very, very interesting. So let me know what your thoughts are on Arne Slot and the Director of Football Search, and yeah, just what's going on at the moment, because it's been a stinker of a season and I can't wait until it finishes now, because we as a club need a reset, a hard reset, and the thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of fans don't deserve this. And you just got to hope that this is a real turning point in the modern era of Tottenham Hotspur, and this season is a tough learning curve. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be making some more videos throughout the week. Thanks again for all your support. It's overwhelming at the moment. I really appreciate it. And until the next video, see you later. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.